Some breaking news over on Dog Post. Brock Bowers is going to miss this spring with a shoulder or labrum injury surgery this here lately this month. So that means the Dogs will be out there, perhaps best or second best player of the on the team in Bowers. It depends on if you think Jalen Carter is better than Brock, and I think that's a good competition, to be honest with you. But it's something we talk about over on Dog Post. When you start thinking about Brock Bowers and the impact he had, he was the last person to score an offensive touchdown for Georgia this season, and having him, out in the spring, it's not a big deal. If we were closer to the fall, you're starting to talk about a guy that really made some plays for Georgia. So I don't know if that would be a good thing, but it's the spring, so not nearly as big of a deal. Now, make sure that you're clicking down here on DAWGSTRUCTION. It'll take you straight to where you can pick this up. Um, we've really been very successful with this project. I cannot wait to get it to y'all, and it's going to ship very shortly. So make sure that you are not missing out on DAWGSTRUCTION. Look at this shot of Keely Ringo. Goodness, nailed it. Great shot there from Chris Collins. And you got every single frame there, a very historic image. Make sure that you're not missing out on that. Make sure that you get this for you or your family so that you've got it to remember forever. Brock being out is going to elevate or push forward Darnell Washington. It also gives Oscar Delp a chance to settle in at Georgia in his first semester in the program. I do not think this is a giant big deal, but again, this is what the spring is about. You never get the full program in the spring. It just does not happen. I mean, you've got new coaches, you've got players that are out with surgeries. I mean, Bear Alexander is going to be out, so it's not an abnormal thing. It gives everybody knows what Brock Bowers can do. I mean, he is as good a player as there is in college football. I don't think he's going to win the Heisman, but he could. We haven't had a tie. I don't know the last time we had a tight end, even in New York. But he should be in his time at Georgia. It's stunning that Georgia, in my entire time covering the team, has never had a player go to New York. I mean, Noshawn Moreno, Matthew Stafford, the list goes on and on of players who are just exceptional. And they've never had a top three player in the country, and it's hard to believe. But Brock Bowers certainly could be that person, could be that guy. We saw Bryce Young win it this past season for Alabama, and he will certainly have his crack back at this thing. You know, if you did lose Bowers, that would be pretty destructive for Georgia. But the insurance policy, if you want to call it that, of Darnell, of Oscar Delp, of these tight ends that Georgia's got, Ryan Goody and Seether, they've got plenty of players at tight end. Todd Hartley's done a hell of a job getting guys in, and their 23 commits are not bad either. I don't want to get down too far down that rabbit hole, but spring football is about a month away. I think I'm trying to remember exactly when they start, but it's not that far away. So Brock will miss a lot of the conditioning. Some of the conditioning that you would do. Obviously, all of the practices, but Kearis Jackson got his knee scoped, I think, in early summer. I can't remember exactly when it was. It was either late May or June, I feel like. That's just this was a season ago, and Kearis was a big deal, and he still is a big deal. But you want to get your team where they need to be 8 months away from when they actually play, and to have him miss, they'll be fine. It won't be a big deal at all. He's as good as good a player as there is in college football. He is the best tight end in college football right now. Georgia will start spring practice on the 15th of March, so a month away, and wrap up with G-Day on April 16th. We're hoping to do something with G-Day for the Dog Post community. So stay tuned with that. Got some stuff in the works. It's going to be pretty exciting. I would encourage you to make sure you pick up DAWGSTRUCTION. The link is right down below. Make sure that you're getting that. And I think on G Day we are going to have an event. But let me get that squared away first, and we'll take it from there. But it was just it's been just an exceptional run for the Dogs, and you're going to have guys out. You don't want backups and reserve players to be out. You can't miss. This is a big spring for Oscar Delp, Carson Beck, Vandegrift, uh, anybody that's just coming into the program. Here are guys that it would not be good if they missed. Willick, Lindbergh. You'd like to have Rutledge back. I don't know his status quite yet. Rosemead, Jack Saint, uh, Blaylock, Edwards, and Milton. They're both in. These are big days for them. Stackhouse, Brinson, Norton, Mitchell, Logue, MJ Sherman. The list goes on and on. This is an important spring for those guys because it's their time to move. Brock Bowers probably be a first round draft pick this coming out right now. And there's a lot. I mean, there is a lot of excuse me, confidence in Brock Bowers from this coaching staff. I can tell you that right now. When you talk with folks on background, that they really felt like Georgia could have destroyed Michigan with Brock Bowers, like up and down the field. But it got to the point where there's no point in having the guy out there, and that was when he probably tweaked this injury. But it's an injury that's going to limit you from a lifting standpoint during the spring. But as I said, you're going to have injuries. I mean, and you're going to have injuries to important players. It doesn't. It's you're going to have injuries to important players. This is an important time to get cleanup work done, stuff that you need to get dealt with. Obviously, George had an ACL in late March and returned to play in late November. I did not think that was out of the question for George. It turned out that I thought late October was not out of the question for him, but late November was ideal, and then he made a huge play in the national championship game. He made a big play in the SEC championship game. So he had an ACL injury in late March and returned to play in 4 games for Georgia. Three really important games and the Georgia Tech game. So for Bowers, this is a standard thing. It won't be a big deal. And he's going to have a long career in football. He needs to get stuff like this right. No reason to run around getting hurt. Hey, DAWGSTRUCTION right down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you over on the website. Stay tuned for our announcement about G Day.